team, welcome to the video. So, I'm going to assume that you've already kind of done these first steps, but just in case you haven't, I'm going to walk you through them. So, if you want to get signed up, go ahead and go to grobot.online, then hit login or start. It's going to take you to the sign in page. Now, I'm already signed in, so it's going to sign me right in. It'll take you to the sign up page. Just put in some basic information, phone number, first name, last name, etc. The email that you put in there, I would probably put in your work email for that one. That is just the sign-in information so you can sign into the platform. Once you're in the platform, you'll be greeted with a page like this. You just won't have any campaigns up. At the top left, you're going to see a blank picture. Go ahead and click on that. Click plus new LinkedIn account. Now, at this point, you're going to get hit with paywall. You choose which plan you're already going to be, or which plan you want to get started on. So choose whichever one. I should have already told you what they are: solo, all the way up to ultimate. If you have any more questions, feel free to email me. I'm more than happy to walk you through the different plan pricing points again. So once you get to the paywall, you're going to hit get started. At first, it's going to default by United States of America. Hit next. Now, time zones. A few different ways you can do this. If you are PST or PDT, just do Los Angeles. If you're on EST, you can do new for New York. And if you're Central, you can keep it. Ooh, let me spell Chicago right. You can do Chicago. Click on it. I'm EST. I'm just going to click on Chicago for the giggles. Now, system operating hours. What this is later in the settings when you find it, it'll be labeled as working hours. What this is basically you're setting up a time limit for when the system will be sending messages, liking or viewing profiles. Basically, it'll be performing actions within the time frame that you give it. Now, default, it's from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can change this, obviously, to whatever you'd like to start and finish. For default purposes, I'm just going to keep it at 9 to 18. Hit next. This is where you're going to put in your actual LinkedIn email and password. Then you're going to hit connect. Once you do that, in the top right, it's going to be a little notification bell. Now, it's going to be loading. Sometimes it takes about 10 to 15 minutes. Most likely we'll be on a call for this, but just so you know what's happening, it's linking, grobot is signing into your actual LinkedIn profile. Once that happens, you're going to get a notification in the top right. Now, whichever email you have connected to your actual LinkedIn account, you're going to get a 6-digit code. Once you get that 6-digit code, you'll come back to Grobot. You'll click on the bell right here, and you'll be prompted with a task to say enter security code. You click on it, you enter the 6-digit code, then it starts loading. Once your profile picture is populated with your image, that's how you know you're signed in and you're good. The basic next steps that I'm going to show you are just very basic things that you're going to want to do when connecting your account. Say we're not on a call yet. Most likely I'll have already walked you through this, but just in case we haven't. So down here at the integrations, when you click on all, you'll see everything that we integrate with. But to keep it simple, I click on email, find your email provider, sign in, get connected. Most of the time, I would always advise turning on the warm-up just so that way your sender score goes through the roof. You're not landing in any spam inboxes, any junk mails. You're going right into the inbox. Now, when it comes to CRMs, if you are in the Via Zapier category, we can set up a call and I can show you how to do it. It's not very complicated. All you have to do is turn on Zapier and turn on webhooks. You just click on this, create whichever trigger you want to have happen, and I'll basically walk you through. You put it in Zapier. Super simple process. Now, if you want to use our CRM, you just hit connect. It'll be just like this, but on the Grobot CRM, if you're using HubSpot or Pipedrive, then you just hit connect. It'll walk you through the basic setup steps and you'll be connected. Now, another thing, campaigns. I'm just going to walk you through how to make a basic campaign just in case for some reason I did not make anything clear. So I'm going to try to make this kind of as detailed as I can to an extent. All right. So depending on what package you get, you also will have different parts. So you may not have every step, but I'm going to cover most of the steps just so that way when you're walking through this, you'll be able to see everything. So getting started, you always have to name a campaign. And for the video, we're going to name it test because I'm testing. Now, I always turn on link tracking, even if I just have one link in there, simply because I just like to know when people click on the links that I send them. It's an easy, great statistic to track. Now, these other 3 settings here, you really don't ever need to turn on. The only reason you would turn on move prospects and or include prospects is if, say, you've ran a campaign for a few months, you've already contacted everyone that you put in that list, and you want to run a retargeting campaign. you'll make a new campaign and you'll turn these on. Because if these are not turned on, it will not, A, reach out to people you've already connected with, and B, it will not reach out to someone or put them in this new campaign if they're already in another existing one. Basically ensuring that you're not going to double message someone. If your persona is people who have premium only, you can turn this on. Not many people use it. Not many people's targets are premium only users, but that is something you can turn on if you want to turn that on. All right. Now, when it comes to adding a search, there's a few ways we can do this. The post URLs, the event URLs, group URLs are kind of the more different ways of doing this. They're not very direct. So you don't know exactly the person you're reaching out to, but maybe you know if they're in this group, you know what they're interested in. If they attended this event, you know what they're interested in. If they interacted with that post, you know what they're interested in. So rather than writing a campaign for, a search where you know exactly the persona you're targeting, rather you're writing it for a group of people who have a somewhat similar interest, depending on the group, event, post, whatever you're reaching out to. Navigator list. So this is if you're in Sales Navigator, and I'm just going to go ahead and put CEO just so I can get some people up here. So say I added a bunch of people to one of my lists. Now, you'll see that I have a few here. What I can do with list URLs and how they're different is if I have a list URL and I upload it and I'm always adding new leads to that list. Well, if I upload a list URL specifically, anytime I add more people to that list, on the right side of my campaign where the three dots are, you can click on it and click rerun searches. So you don't have to add a new URL every time. You can just hit rerun searches, and the new people that were added to that list are now being messaged and sequenced. It's just so you don't have to continuously add more people. Same thing for the recruiter project URL and recruiter search. Now, if you have a CSV file, there's a few different ways you can do this. You can either, A, upload an email-only campaign. So you'll click on email only before you do this. And then you upload a CSV file of emails. Preferably, I would also, at the very least, have their first name so you can use that first name token. You can even do custom fields if you want to. If you want to do a LinkedIn plus email campaign and you want to upload a CSV, you need to have their email, obviously, and you need to have their LinkedIn profile URL. Now, it has to be the full link. It cannot be a hashed URL. If you need an example of this, I can show you when I have one that I have a screenshot of, but I did not pull it up for this video. I'm sorry. But basically, if you look up someone's LinkedIn profile, at the very top, you'll see the URL. If it doesn't look like that and it's shorter, it's called a hashed URL, and the system can't look that up. So you should make sure it's the full URL. Most of the time, you're going to have the full URL. Now, when it comes to making your searches, I'm not going to say what you should or shouldn't have for sure, and if you don't have it, it's going to ruin it. But I'm going to tell you the most common things that we see when we're making lists. So, company headcount. This is a super easy thing to do. You can get, kind of the idea of how much money they make or how many people they have staffed. So, 11 to 50, just for example, there you go. We're going to do 11 to 200. Then you always want to do connection, second and third degree plus. The reason you do second and third degree plus is because if you don't do this, you have the potential of just wasting space. The lists only search up to 100 pages on Sales Navigator specifically. Now, if you're just using the regular LinkedIn search, it only does up to 1,000 people per search. So you have to be careful there. The reason this is it only searches to 100 pages and it doesn't load contacts past that. So again, if you're on the regular LinkedIn search feature, still works just fine, but you can only search 1,000 people per search. If you were using Sales Navigator, you can do 2,500 per search. So just keep that in mind when you're making these lists. So second and third degree connection, I would say always have this on. It just helps you not have people sequence that you're not going to get any interaction on because you're already connected with. All right. Head count, super simple. Function. I don't see this very often, but if you know exactly the function you want to reach out to, go ahead and put that on there. Job title. This is a big one. Again, when I say making personas, I would say you want to figure out job title and maybe how long they've been in the position and industry. These are the two very easy things to do. I think geography is super easy to target as well. You know about where your people sit, what language they speak, so on and so forth. So I'm going to remove this because I don't need this here. So job title, CEO, United States, IT, Services and Consulting, second and third degree connection, 11 to 50. Obviously, this is too big, but this is just an example. Some things you can do to limit them: change job. This is people who have changed job in the last 90 days. Now, the reason it might be actually really good to target people who have changed their jobs is because someone who's new to their job is A, active on LinkedIn because they told LinkedIn they changed their job. So you know you're going to get someone who's active and at least looking. B, people who are new to their jobs are looking to make an impact. They want to make a change. They want to be noted. They want to be noticed for doing something different at their company, for making a positive change. That's a really easy way to target people and to get some good meetings going. Another thing you could do is post on LinkedIn. This, again, is posted on LinkedIn in the last 90 days. The reason this is really good is because you know they're active. If they're posting on LinkedIn, you know they're interested and they want to get their SSI up, or anything that revolves around that. They want to make sure their audience is growing, so they're going to reply to you at the very least. So again, really good filter you can put on there if you need to make your list a little bit smaller. So say I have my list down at 2.5K or any smaller than that, it's fine as well. Take the URL, copy it, come back, paste it. Now, if you're using a regular LinkedIn search or a Sales Navigator search, you're just going to use this search URL function right here, hit add search. So in this particular one, I know we're going after CEOs. So I can come in here, hit add connection request, include text message, hey, first name, or whatever you want to put here. You can write out your short connection requests. At the most, I would keep it at about 180 to 190 characters. If you go past that, it has a chance of going over that 200 mark. And say you're reaching out to someone with a really long first name, if the automation can't fit within that 200 character limit, it will not send it, just because it would look weird if you have half a sentence being sent. So just for safety reasons, we don't send it out if it goes over that. So that's why I say leave 10 to 20 characters in case someone has a long name. Now, you'll save step. No need to put a delay on this because this is the first step. Now, second step, I would do send message. Make this a really easy way to start off. The second message is just acknowledging that they connected with you. So thanks for the connection, whatever talking point. But saying, thanks for the connection, or, I appreciate the connection, anything to acknowledge it is really good. Now, if you want to, you can even do a really short delay for this one. So they accept it, an hour later they get a message from you. I don't have anything against it. Most of the time we see a day or two as a delay, but if you want to do an hour after, I think it shows it's pretty simple and it's a very fast follow-up. And if they accepted it, they at least check their messages that day. And then next, you can do, where is it? Perform action. Here we go. You can like the last 3 posts. This is the most common one that I like to do, just because no matter what, they're going to have a post up there that they've reposted or posted at some point. And anytime you like a post, they're going to be like, oh, well, why was this person interested? They're going to look at your profile. So this is the one that I would turn on, but feel free to turn on the follow or endorse or just view their profile. Then you save this step. Again, I would put about a 3-day delay on this because you want your follow-up step, your next message or email, to be just shortly after that. So again, I do like an hour delay. So you're getting that free touch point in there, and then shortly after that, you're able to message them. Really easy kind of lay up into a 1-2 to kind of get some free touch points in there, so they at least have seen your profile or interacting in some way. Now, the other things you can do, and I won't tell you exactly how to run your campaign because, again, this is personal to you. You can make this however you want to make this. Depending on what package you get, you can do make a call, or you can do send an SMS. That's up to you. If you got the dialer package, you can do that. Or if you say, you just have the basic package, you can do enrichment credit. Now, again, if you ever want to check on these, at the top right here, it'll tell you how many you have left in your billing cycle, and you can always subscribe to buy more in that current month. Now, there's no need to add a delay to this step because there's no really action happening besides finding if we have an email or phone number of that said contact. Now, once you use this enrichment step, you now have the power to send emails. So you just go to enriched email and then select which domain you want to send the email from. You can create your subject. You can keep it on the original thread, or if you have multiple ones, you can click on the new one so it makes a new thread. Now, you can make these as customized as you want or uncustomized as you want. You can make signatures. Now, I have already formatted all mine to have the signatures built in, but if you want to, you can make your own customized signatures and just import it right here. Now, again, first name, last name, occupation, all that good stuff is right here, so you don't have to worry about typing it all out manually. If you need some inspiration, we even have some ideas here, some templates just to kind of get you, or I'm sorry, best practices just kind of get you thinking, you know, all right, what do I need to say here? I don't recommend just clicking on it and sending it because they're pretty basic, but it does help you get the idea of what you want to say. And you're like, okay, you know, that kind of sparked an idea. I want to talk about this. You know, it's something you can do. As other steps, you know, we have the send in mail. If you're going to send an in mail, you need to have Sales Navigator or a premium account. And if you go into your settings, you'll be able to see how many you have. When you have Sales Navigator, you're able to send, I believe, 150 a month. And anytime someone accepts it, you get that credit back for the month. Now, this would always go before the connection request because obviously you can't send it after. You can make it as personalized as you'd like. Now, another thing you can do is you can push a CRM. So again, if you have one natively or if you just want to use the in-house one, you can do that. And you can choose an owner depending on who it is. Save step, and now it'll push them if they get to this point. You don't have to do it, but again, a really good step. Now, manual task. This is something that a lot of people do when they're doing cold calls. I usually put it at the end of the campaign, so you can just title it, you know, call this person, and then you can put a description however you'd like. You don't really need much more than that, but if you want to put like the script of the call, because you're gonna have so many campaigns going, you know what I'm saying? So if you want to put a script in there of basically what you want to say, you can definitely do that, so you at least have something to read. Now, you can also set a delay on it. I don't really know why you do that. Maybe you want to do like, you know, 3 months after a campaign, I want to call them and be like, hey, a few months ago, we had talked, and I was just curious if you got a chance to read any of my messages I sent you on LinkedIn, whatever it may be. Because it's on the last step, if they've reached that last step, you know that they have yet to reply because the automation would stop if they've replied. So something to keep in mind if you want to do that. You can also assign it to whoever you want to assign it to, and you can give it a priority. Now, if it's cold calls, I think that's pretty important stuff, so I give it an urgent, but completely up to you however you want to calm your OCD and organize it however you'd like. Now, send invite to event. If you're hosting a webinar or event on LinkedIn, you can just put the URL right here, and it will send it to them automatically. You don't have to worry about anything. Those are kind of all the steps for adding steps into a campaign that you can do. If you have any questions about the functionality or just something like, hey, can I do this, whatever, feel free to reach out. When it comes to organizing the campaign as well, you can drag and drop. You can add delays, take off delays here. And then I would always make sure you save the campaign because I'll show you why. So this is test. So I'm going to click on campaigns. I didn't save it, but it allows me to click away. And it's not going to load for a second, but essentially I just deleted the campaign. Because I didn't hit save, it deleted it. So please hit save before you navigate away because it will delete it. I have done it plenty of times. Moving on. So there's going to be a little bit of confusion here. I just want to make sure this is clear up front. When you're talking to people and you have your little saved replies here, you have to add saved replies from this screen. Your templates down here are completely different. I don't have any in my workspace currently, but if you add a template here, it is not going to show up in your saved replies. The reason this is because they are completely different. What I see people do is they'll create campaigns through templates. So they'll make a bunch of templates and they'll name it like, you know, test campaign 1, step, you know, 1 of 5, because you'll have like a campaign. Usually what we see from bigger companies is they'll give their employees a list and they're like, hey, you know, use these messages. You can just copy and paste those messages into here, and then when you're making the campaigns, which I can show you how to do this really quick as well, when you're making the campaigns, you can just add step, send message, and then you click on templates, you hit add template. Like I said, I don't have any, but you could search through them and just upload them right here, you know, preload everything for you so you don't have to write all that again. All right, and moving on to the account settings, you shouldn't need to change anything in here. Account limits, let me go ahead and change this for you. When you're starting out, you're probably going to start out at 10 to 15 connection requests a day. View profiles and messages will probably be around there as well. We want to start you off slow so that we can build you up and you're able to send more and more every day. I've been running my account for quite a while, just over a year now. And these are where I'm at. So we try not to go too crazy because, you know, the more you send, the more it's going to be kind of on that fence. So we just want to be careful while warming you up. And again, going back to what I was saying earlier about those operating hours, I have mine at 9 to 5. You can change it. As well as, I will say when you're here, if you don't want to run on weekends, turn this off. By default, this is turned on. Feel free to turn it off at any time. Your account location, you shouldn't ever need to set up a proxy. Don't worry about any of that. If you do want to change your time zone, or if you want to change your system operating hours, you can do that here by dragging the slider. Go to your pending connections. This is how many will be deleted per day. You can drag this slider up and down however you want to, and maximum pending connection requests. So what this means is if I ever have someone who I send a connection request to on, say, Monday, well, say I somehow send 645 and it's Wednesday now. So if you hit number 646th in line and you're still waiting, you're going to be withdrawn. The reason this is good is because if you have too many outstanding, it kind of limits the amount of connections, new connections you'll be able to send. This is where you'll create signatures for your email. You just hit add signature, name, and then what you want it to look like, so on and so forth. When you're in your pipeline, this is where you can create one if you want to use the in-house one. You just go on CRM and you create the different stages. You also can create different pipelines, so just make sure you create one and label it accordingly. So I can say this one's priority 1, which I might need to learn how to spell priority. Priority 1, and then I make stage 1, stage 2, all that good stuff, and then I can drag and drop people accordingly. Let's do 20%. So then I'm, look, they reached 20%. I drag them over here, and so on and so forth. When it comes to templates, so you're going to do videos. You can create a video, and sorry you're going to see my face twice here. Oh, right. Never mind. I turned it off. So your camera's going to pop up here, but because I'm in the top right now, it will not pop up because my camera's already running, but it would pop up your little video right here. I always do large just because the more that they can see your face and the less AI it looks like, because it's going to be a genuine video, they're going to like that. They're going to like that you're saying stuff, that you're moving your mouth, that it's a real video. And all this is going to do is take their LinkedIn profile and put it in the background. So you're just going to do your video, and it's going to reach out to thousands of people with you having to only do it once. Now, scenario name is what you will only see yourself. The title is going to be at the top. So top, and I'm just going to do this that way you can see where it would look, what it would look like for someone who clicks on it. Subtitle, and I'll do last name just to do that, and then I'll do hi, so you'll see what it looks like. Now if I go to preview, they'll see the thumbnail. Sorry, the thumbnail will be right here of their profile and your face on the bottom left, and then this is the top. This is the subtitle, and then this is what this button will look like if you have a link in there that is not for Calendly. Now, if you have a Calendly link, I'll show you what Caleb's looks like. We'll go to preview his really quick. Again, you can still put text there. It'll just look like this. But if you have a Calendly link and you put it in, it'll embed the calendar just below it, and people can schedule time right then and there. Super easy. I believe that is everything. If you have any more questions or feel that I missed anything, feel free to reach out to me, michael.reynolds@grobot.online. This has been a fun little video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you want to hear more, I'm more than happy to schedule some time with you. Have a wonderful day.